Hello and welcome to the next round of the Combe Karting Championship. Once again we're starting in practice with a very wide moment. I haven't driven here in the dry in 6 months, so I'm just getting back used to it again, taking those normal lines. And on that very first lap I was getting it very wrong, and again at the hairpin at the top, getting it quite wrong. By the end of practice I wasn't feeling complete with it, but no time to worry about that now. Going straight out for Heat 1, starting in pole position. I know I just need to get down and get into that first place. That's exactly what I do. I'm able to take my normal line, and I get to the apex, and unless I'm on the apex I realise, hang on, someone might hit me in the rear. Fortunately, everyone's quite sensible at the first corner, and I'm able to just get a good drive out, and that is straight into first place. Can't really ask for much better. So yeah, I was feeling a lot better immediately in this race than I had in practice. I was definitely just pushing too much in some of the corners and not enough in some of the others. But as we look behind now, on halfway through the race, you can already see second, third and fourth right down the road. There's only 4 cars in each race, as there's a few less drivers at this event than at the last one. Yeah, that is going to be victory number 1 of the day. Very pleased about that. I've managed to win all 4 of the heats at the opening round of the year. Let's see how many heats I can win at this round. It's going to be quite tough though in this heat. I've got quite a quick driver starting in pole position. They had forgotten to turn the camera on, so Marshall just helping them out. But I'm going to be starting in last place. This is going to be the tough one to win. Or at least for right now it is. And I get a much better start than second place. But I just can't do anything. So I think maybe I can go around the outside. Unfortunately, I'm given a good amount of space. So I go around the outside. And I get squeezed into the barrier a bit. I was probably left, instead of 1 kart width, maybe 80% of a kart width. But it means I'm not going to turn into the barrier, obviously. So when he's tried to turn in, he's just given me a little nudge, and it spun himself around. So I'm not going to worry about it. It's kind of his own doing. But yeah, I've dropped back quite a bit from the leader. But let's just see if we can close in. Coming on to lap 3, definitely closing in a lot already. And then as we come on to lap 4, I'm now right on his tail. Can't quite make the overtake yet, but get a very good drive going up the hill. Immediately head down, just trying to play mind games really. Try and make him take wrong lines or look behind more than look forward. He doesn't need to worry about defending there. I get a good speed through that hairpin, and I then look into the inside, down the inside, make a bit of contact. I'm pretty sure that was clean in the moment, because I'd got all the way alongside and ahead. And then I'm just defending that first corner as well, which is very unnecessary, getting a poor run. Yeah, I was pretty sure I was going to not get a penalty, but I had missed the apex slightly. Fortunately, it was alright. I see he's a bit far back, don't need to defend, but he just sends it anyway. That was a very big hit. Fortunately, he realised that he would get a penalty if he overtook me, so he just backed off and let me keep that position, and that is another victory. Had a quick little chat with him afterwards, and yeah, it was all good. It was a very much do or die attempt. Very pleased about that. Yeah, you can't really be diving up the inside there from that far back and making it work, at least not against someone who's braking as late as I am. And yeah, now going on to the next heat and immediately going for first place, and that is a perfect start, but the driver on my left getting good drive out. Fortunately, I get 2 hits up the rear, which was very helpful. I then slide all the way through the chicane, and then having a very careful moment through the hairpin. I think I got a tap up the rear just to help me through the corner. But yeah, come the end of the race, I managed to pull clear. Yeah, I don't know what happened on that first lap with the kart. It was very loose, but come lap 2 it was fine. And yeah, that is victory number 3 out of 3. I'm very pleased to get all of that. And now coming into this final heat, both me and the driver starting in first, we've won all 3 of our heats. So it looks like whoever wins this is going to be starting on pole position for the A final. And I just go nowhere at the start. Fortunately, I'm able to cover that inside. But yeah, the kart just did not want to accelerate at the start. It turned out to be just the start, and it was fine the rest of the race, but for whatever reason, just means I've already lost some ground. But I'm not that far back. But then the leader takes it quite cautiously through the hairpin, and I don't, and turns out that was the wrong approach. So I actually I slide out, I lose a bit of time, which is quite unfortunate. It's going to be tough to close back in. I have a lap time that's maybe a tenth quicker. In fact, not even that, it's half a tenth quicker at this time of the day. So I know I'm quicker, but not the gap that it is a tenth or two, probably even more than a couple tenths. So let's just see what we can do. It is quite nice following someone. It's really hard to know your bearings in terms of how quick you are and where you're quick, unless you're following someone, and that's the exact position I'm in. I get a good drive through the first corner now, and then coming up to the chicane, he almost like lifts off slightly. So it means I'm now right on his tail. He looks to defend the inside, but then cuts back to the outside, and it means I just drift out wide as I make contact with him. I'm not that pleased about that. It's nowhere near being a penalty for him, but yeah, it's maybe something I need to work on. That if someone's going to do that, I don't know, barge them out of the way or something. No, maybe I shouldn't say that, but yeah, it means I just drop back a bit too much, and it's so close between all the top drivers that I just wasn't able to close back in enough to put him under pressure. And yeah, that's going to be second place. Normally 38 points is an absolutely amazing haul. It would have been beaten pole position in the morning session. Unfortunately, 2 drivers won all 4 of their heats, and 2 drivers won all 4 of their heats bar 1. And it means I'm qualifying in 4th place. At least I'm starting high up the grid. It's a bit unfortunate that I've won 7 of my 8 heats this year, and I've averaged starting in 3rd place. There's nothing I can do about it now. Just got to get straight onto that A final. And here we are for that A final. Starting in 4th place, it's going to be tricky on the outside. I need to be making a good start, and then just seeing what we can do from there. And I do make a good start, which is nice. I don't have to worry about 5th place coming up my inside, because 3rd place goes straight through, and that's fair enough. That's exactly what sort of happens at the start. And then he goes for the 2nd place. I then try and go around, but now I'm being put in the barrier. I lose all momentum I had up the hill, and then coming into the top hairpin, a massive amount of contact between me and the driver in 3rd place, and I know what's coming. It wasn't the biggest hit, certainly not as bad as the hit on me earlier, but because it's hit him on the rear right, it's just spun him straight round. Yeah, immediately black and white flag. I know that's going to be either a 2 or a 4 place grid penalty, or a penalty in where I finish. I have a big gap to the drivers behind, but the leaders are long gone, so I'm probably just going to be finishing in this 3rd place and then taking whatever penalty comes my way. But let's just see what we can do. Maybe I can try and get that fastest lap, and yeah, let's just see if we can be consistent. That's one thing I think I've really struggled with, is setting quick lap times and consistently setting quick lap times. And yeah, normally at the end of the day I'm quite good in the rhythm, and that's exactly what happened here. I managed to set 4 lap times in a row within a tenth of each other, and they were quick lap times for the day. The circuit is about 2 tenths slower than last year because the chicane is a bit tighter, so not quite getting sub 25s like I did at one point last year, but certainly quick lap times for the day. Now you see the top 2 are battling. That's exactly what I want. I'm not going to catch them if they just stay line astern, but if they're going side by side, if the leader's having to defend, if 2nd place goes up the inside, then I'm definitely going to be able to close there. And once again, the leader defending the inside. These 2 drivers very quick, but I think I can close in, and that's exactly what I'm doing, bit by bit. Hopefully that 2nd place driver can keep the leader under pressure and just let me close in. And I'm just carrying some good speed through most of the corners now. Definitely got the good rhythm going. This would actually be my fastest lap of the whole day right here. And yeah, they're once again defending, and it means I've just closed right in. I'm really pleased with how I'm driving. Let's see if we can make 1 position or maybe even 2, so it costs me less in the final classification. We're not going to be winning this race, unfortunately, because of that penalty, and it's going to be tough to get a podium with either a 2 or a 4 place grid penalty coming my way. Let's see what we do now. I'm close enough that if they do go and attack each other, then I can probably make a position, but I'm not too close that the person in 2nd needs to defend from me. But unfortunately the leader has just pulled out just half a kart length, and it means he doesn't need to worry about defending. I get a poor drive through that first corner, unfortunately. Probably one of my first mistakes in 5 or 6 laps, and it just means I'm not there to be able to close in and make a move. So unfortunately, that is going to be a 3rd place finish on the road, 2nd time in a row, but it's not going to be 3rd place. It's not going to be 3rd place after a penalty. So unfortunately that penalty drops me down to 4th, down to 5th, down to 6th, and all the way down to 7th place. The person I hit, he got spun round right to the back of the field, and that means I finished 7th place overall. I can't really argue with that, but the move obviously was not on. I didn't realise until afterwards how far behind I dropped from him. I thought I was more in line with his rear wheel. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the rest of the year in this, as because of how busy I am this year, I can't actually drop any rounds, and having a 7th place means you're not going to be finishing that high up the standings. Anyway, thank you very much, and hopefully I'll see you at the next one.